I got a 12 in CELPIP Writing, and in this video I'm going to be teaching you how you too can get the best score possible. Now I know what you're thinking, I'm not a good writer. They tell you that writing takes months or even years to master. Don't worry guys, I have the perfect secret for you to excel and get the best score possible in CELPIP Writing. And what is that? Yes, templates guys. Templates are what will save you from a lot of stress and trying to figure out how to write efficiently. Once you have the right templates, you are good to go. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing the templates, writing a practice question. I'm going to be teaching you salient points you need to know, like complex sentences and things like that. I'm also going to be telling you important tips on test days. We all know that exams are not a true test of knowledge. You can be good at writing, but something can just happen during your exam day. So let's dive in. Once again, my name is Pelumi Agbola. If you're new to the channel, you are absolutely welcome. Thank you for stopping by. If you're taking the CELPIP exam and you've not gone through my previous videos, you can go through them and go through this as well. I'm making this a whole series on CELPIP because I was able and very honored to get a very high score, and I'm sharing the process. Today we're focusing on writing. My previous video was on speaking. I went through all the 8 tasks of speaking, and yeah, feel free to subscribe if you've not already subscribed. If you're watching for the first time, please subscribe. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers and I'm still halfway there, so I would really appreciate you subscribing and liking this video if you find it useful. So let's just jump right into it. Before I start with the practice questions, which are really important, I would like to talk about something that will help you in the 2 tests, and that is understanding the areas of life. You might be thinking that, is this a psychology lesson? No, but once you understand there are 7 areas of life, and once you understand the 7 areas of life, it will help you to be able to answer questions well. So anything that happens to you in the 7 areas of life, and they are physical, mental, career, finance, relationships or family, environmental, personal growth or personal development. These 7 areas, if you know at least 5, physical, mental, financial, environmental, just know most of them. You don't need to cram the 7, but understand them. Especially your task 2, when they ask you to give a reason for something, you give a reason for something either because of financial reasons, either because of physical reasons, either because of mental reasons. It really helps you understand what we call the broad spectrum of life. So understand these areas of life well. It will help you easily develop reasons, and your task 2 will be a breeze, and it will also help you in your task 1 depending on the question. Before we go into the practice questions, another thing that is important after you understand the 7 areas of life, are just an overview of the 2 tasks. I'm so happy because unlike speaking that you have 8 tasks, in writing you just have 2. So your first task is writing an email. Writing an email, you have 27 minutes and you have to do between 150 to 200 words. While the second task is responding to a survey question. Responding to a survey question, you have 150 to 200 words and you have 26 minutes. The questions they will ask you are usually work related or community related or official based, nothing controversial. I have a sample question here for writing an email. You live in an apartment building where the elevator has not been working for the past 2 weeks. This has caused problems for many residents, especially those who live in the higher floors. Write an email to the building manager. In your email, now they'll give you bullet points. This thing is very crucial. These bullet points are very crucial. In your email, bullet point 1, explain the problem and how it has affected you. Bullet point 2, describe how it is affecting other residents. Bullet point 3, suggest what the manager should do to fix the issue quickly. For each of these bullet points, that's a paragraph for me. That's another thing you should note as a template or something you should understand. There will be bullet points of things you should not miss in your email, and it's like to guide you. Each bullet point is a paragraph. Now let me read the what I wrote. Hello, Mr. Johnson. I am writing to inform you that the elevator in the East Wing apartments has been out of service for 3 weeks now. This has been a gross inconvenience as I live on the 9th floor, and taking the stairs every time has been a strain on my daily life. Now that is my first paragraph. Let's go back to bullet point 1. Explain the problem and how it has affected you. Now, they didn't give us any information about where the building is, but out of my own thoughts, I expanded that and I made it the elevator in the East Wing apartment. I just thought that maybe I live in a large apartment building, so maybe there is East Wing, West Wing, there are various wings, so I just made it. Or you can just say the elevator in apartment A the elevator in apartment B, they will give you very little detail, but it is your job to explain a bit more. I explain the problem. I'm writing to inform you that the elevator in the East Wing apartments has been out of service for 2 weeks now. Now, this has been a gross inconvenience as I live on the 9th floor. So I'm just trying to show how it has affected me. I've explained the situation, explained the problem and how it has affected you. That's the first bullet point. Now I'm explaining how it has affected me. This has been a gross inconvenience as I live on the 9th floor, and taking the stairs every time has been a strain on my daily lifestyle. In CELPIP, the more complex your sentences are and the more you use bigger grammar, that could help. But I'll get on that later. If you don't know the meaning of a word, please do not use it. So instead of gross inconvenience, I could have said significant inconvenience. You understand? These are still slightly complex words. Beginners to the language will use a tough time or a hard time. They won't choose more complex words. So significant inconvenience, gross inconvenience, those are like slightly higher complex sentences. To you as a avid or regular English speaker, it might seem like, oh, I use gross inconvenience or significant inconvenience. People who are maybe learning English for the first time, adults who maybe their first language is French and they are learning English, they don't use significant inconvenience. If you are learning French as an English speaker and they say significant inconvenience in French, you most likely say hard time or something simple. So those little words are complex sentences. My second paragraph, in the same vein, I'll speak on this later. In the same vein, this has also affected several other residents, such as Mrs. Potty, who just had a baby and has 2 other children under the age of 10, who now have to use the stairs on their way to school and after returning from school. There's also Mr. Richard, a senior in his 70s, who loves to take outdoor walks. He has been stuck because of this huge imposition. Let's go back to bullet point number 2. Describe how it is affecting other residents. And I try to paint a picture of how inconvenienced this elevator is not working by inventing neighbors. I invented a neighbor who just had a baby and she has 2 children under the age of 10. And another neighbor who is 70 years old and loves to take outdoor walk. Just imagine that situation. Your imagination will really help you in writing, because I don't live in an apartment building with an elevator. I just walk into my apartment right now. But I've seen movies of apartment buildings. I know people who live in apartment buildings, and I just formulated something. So by giving 2 examples, I've made a solid example of how bad the situation is. Now let's just review paragraph 2. I said I started with in the same vein. Now you can use other words like also, furthermore, in addition to this. Those are good ways to begin a paragraph, because I like to be, I think I learned this in like in SS2 English, in the same vein. And I just thought that was such a beautiful way to begin a paragraph. So, furthermore is like also. Furthermore is really good. You can use that in your third or second, but don't use it in your first, because you're saying furthermore. So furthermore, also, moreover, those are good. Additionally, in the same vein. In the same vein is very, very classy and very complex. So once they see that, they'll be like, this guy understands the language. So I'm giving to everybody who is watching this video, you can use in the same vein. This has also affected several other residents, such as Mrs. Potty. I'm describing a situation. Mrs. Potty, who just had a baby and 2 other children. They always give precedence to people who are pregnant, people who just had a baby, and elderly people. Such as Mrs. Potty, who just had a baby and has 2 other children under the age of 10, who now has to use the stairs on their way to school and after returning from school. There is also Mr. Richard, who is a senior in his 70s, who loves to take outdoor walks. He can't take outdoor walks anymore because of the elevator is broken. He has been stuck because of this huge imposition. Now, guys, I said this in my first video on CELPIP, that watching movies will help you. But there's a caveat. Don't use words you don't know. I remember watching, when I was writing this, I remembered watching Devil Wears Prada, the ending scene where Andrea was like, oh, take this closer off me. And she was like, that would be a huge imposition. I know what it means, so I use that here. That is a complex sentence. People who are new to the language, don't know the meaning of imposition. But please be careful. If you don't know the meaning of a word, don't use it. Now, the last, I kindly request that you treat this as an urgent matter and you get a technician to fix the building elevator as soon as possible, and to help alleviate this stressful situation and bring ease and comfort to the lives of every resident in the East Wing. Let's go back to bullet point 3. Suggest what the manager should do to fix this issue quickly. So you can see how easy it is. They give you 3 bullet points. Each bullet point is a paragraph. Suggest what the manager should do to fix this issue quickly. So instead of using quickly, I said I kindly request you treat this as an urgent matter, or you treat this with urgency or with a high level of urgency, and get a technician to fix the elevator as soon as possible. Urgency, as soon as possible. I didn't use the same words they did, because that's what people will do. You kind of try to use the same words that were given to you. Say, I will request you to fix this quickly. You're trying to use the same words they gave you. Try to use other things. Urgent matter, as soon as possible. It will help to alleviate. Now, alleviate means reduce. But you could say reduce. It could help it will help end this situation. But then again, we're trying to aim for an 11 or a 12. So we're just putting dollops, like dollops of complex sentences, not a complex sentence, because honestly, it is better to use simple sentences from the beginning to end and be grammatically correct and be sure of at least a 10. If you want to like get the 11, 12, then you put dollops, a few here and there, big grammar, just to show that you're an advanced English speaker. Alleviate this stressful situation and bring ease and comfort to the lives of every resident in the East Wing. Then don't forget your closing. Thank you. Regards. I actually wrote it here. You can't see my screen, but I wrote regards Barry Allen. You know Barry Allen is the Flash. They say 150 to 200 words. So therefore, please try to hit at least 155 words. If you write so much, in case you realize that you're writing a lot, don't go more than 10 words above 200 words. Just be somewhere within the sweet spot. This is 176 words. That's perfect. And the good thing about CELPIP is that CELPIP has a word count and you have a spelling error check. In case it has been updated and it has been removed, please use your last few minutes to double check. You can finish this in 20 minutes once you know that each bullet point is a paragraph. Now let's move to task 2, responding to a survey question. Now the areas of life I started with at the beginning of this lesson would really help you here. Now let's look at this question. Technically, you're given a situation and you have to choose between one of the 2 choices, just like comparing and persuading in your speaking test. Your local community center is planning to offer a new weekend class, but they can only choose one. They are asking residents for their opinion. Option A, cooking classes. Option B, fitness training classes. Write about 150 to 200 words to the community center. In your response, choose either option A or B. That's the first bullet point. Bullet point 2, explain the reasons for your choice. Bullet point 3, persuade the community center to select your preferred opinion. Unfortunately, it is not the same with task 1, where you can basically use the bullet points of the first paragraph. You have to switch things up. Like I said in my previous video as well, there is no right or wrong answer. It's how well you can defend your answer. But for this one, I chose fitness training because I could think of more things that would be beneficial for a community. Everybody has one person in their family who can cook. So I chose fitness training because it will help everybody holistically. Choose one immediately and move on. Now, like I said, they give you very little information. You have to be the one to develop. They didn't give the name of the community center. So here's what I did. I said, hello, Rising Hope Community Center. I am excited that I've decided to offer a new weekend class for the community. Culinary classes and fitness training sessions are both great options. However, I would recommend that the center offers fitness training centers to help the community in physical, mental, and financial ways. That is my introduction. I gave my 3 reasons at the very first paragraph. So like I said, those 7 areas of life are the reasons why we do things in life. We either do things because the money is good, financial reasons. We either do things because it will improve our health, physical health. We either do things because it will improve our mental state, mental reasons. We either do things because we want to we read books because we want to develop ourselves, personal development. Those 7 things, they are the broad spectrum of life. So I said physical, mental, and financial ways. Now, so what paragraph 1 is that I acknowledge the situation. They want to choose between fitness or cooking, and I chose 1, and I gave the 3 reasons immediately. Physical, mental, and financial ways. Fitness sessions every weekend will help residents improve their physical well-being and the quality of their lives through cardio, low and high intensity workouts. It has been proven that periodic fitness exercises help to improve a person's overall health and reduce the risk of cardiovascular diseases, and this will benefit multiple community members in the long run. So I'm breaking it down one by one. At the first paragraph, I said physical, mental, and financial ways, right? Now in the second paragraph, I'm explaining first reason, that's the physical well-being. Now my second was mental. My mental will be my third paragraph. Secondly, stress has been on the rise globally, primarily due to a hectic lifestyle and a demanding occupation. Weekend exercises will be beneficial, helping with stress management and improving mental alertness. My second paragraph is really short because let's be honest, the main reason people choose to fitness is because of their physical health. Other ones are just the cherries on top. 31 words, that's all my second paragraph was. I gave a reason or like a situation, and I explained weekend exercises will be beneficial to help manage stress and improve people's mental alertness. Are you getting what I'm saying? So as you can assume, the fourth paragraph, we're explaining our reason 3. Now, you don't have to give 3 reasons, but I was struggling to hit the word count because the word count is 150 to 200 words. With my 3 reasons and everything is 202 words. You can actually do well by only giving 2 examples, because the last example, which is financial reasons, came to me when I was like, maybe I was like just 150 something words. So I just thought of throwing in financial reasons and it worked for me. If you can give 3 as well and you're not running out of time, a fast typist, go for it. 2 or 3 examples, but please never give 1. Never ever give one reason. Furthermore, gym subscriptions are quite expensive for students and the unemployed in our community, and having workout sessions on the weekend will be exciting for everyone, especially those conscious about living a healthy lifestyle on a budget. I never said financial reasons in the third one, but you can understand. I said gyms are expensive. If the community center does free workout sessions, they've saved money. So implied, that's also another strength. You don't have to see everything that you already gave up there. Now I give a closing. I strongly recommend choosing fitness training sessions, and it will be more advantageous to our community members than cooking classes. Thank you. Now for task 2, because you are responding to a survey question, it's really not a letter that you're addressing to somebody in particular. So you don't need to put regards. Task 1 that you must put sincerely or regards your name. But this one I just put thank you and I wrote my name, and everything was 202 words. If I take out the name and I stop at thank you, it's exactly 200 words, which is still okay. Like I said, try to aim for at least 10 words into that's like 160 words, or max, the very max 210 words. The main thing we can learn from task 2 is our areas of life. Very important, because when you understand that the reasons you can cook up for something can be the financial reasons, mental reasons, physical reasons, personal development reasons, career reasons. You never know the question will throw at you. You'll be easily able to develop points for task 2 quickly. If you're enjoying this video so far, please don't forget to like, hit the subscribe button, and let me hit 1,000 subscribers. I would really truly appreciate that. You state all the reasons you eventually go with in your first paragraph. Like I said, however, I would recommend that the center offer fitness training sessions, and it will help the community in physical, mental, financial reasons. Then physical, your first reason is your second paragraph. Your second reason is your third paragraph. If you have a third reason, your third reason is your fourth paragraph. Then you end, give a closing. I strongly recommend training sessions that will be more advantageous to our community members than cooking classes. Thank you. Let's go back to the bullet point. Choose either option A or option B. We did that in paragraph 1. Explain the reasons for your choice. We did that in our second, third, and fourth paragraph. Persuade the community center to select your preferred opinion. I believe that using these reasons very persuaded them, but I just gave a closing that would reinforce my stance on it by saying I strongly recommend you choose fitness training classes that will be more advantageous to our community members. I want to give you tips for test day. Like I said earlier in the video, we all know that exams are not a true test of knowledge. If you've taken the exam before and you got a 9 and you needed to get a 10, or you got a 7 and you needed to get something higher, just know that the problem is not you. Exams are not a true test of knowledge. You are anxious on exam days. You can be smart and you can know everything. Like, for example, my lowest score in the exam was my listening, which I thought would be really high, because I was tired and I had to wake myself up and say that you have to pass this exam, because I was tired, I was yawning, I missed some questions here and there, I wasn't listening properly. So that happens. So it's not about you. But knowing these tips on test day can really help you. Now, firstly, aim to finish each test in 20 minutes. Now, for the first one, you have 27. For the second one, you have 26. Aim to finish the test in 20, each test in 20 minutes. I know you're thinking, 20 minutes, I won't be done. No, you already have my templates now. You know how to construct. Each paragraph is for task 2. Each paragraph is a reason. If you give two reasons, you have 2 paragraphs, you have your opener, and you just say you strongly recommend this over this, and thank you, and close. For task 1, you are responding to an email, right? You're responding to an email, you state the reason, and let's follow the bullet points. Bullet point 1, bullet point 2, bullet point 3. That is it. If you have 2 bullet points, expand further. So you know that your first paragraph is a beginning where you are introducing the issue. Your closing, you are wrapping up and recommending or requesting something, like in case you don't want to rely on those bullet points. Introduction, closing, main issue. Introduction, closing, then the main issue. That's 3 paragraphs. Your task 2, give an introduction. Choose the one you're going for, as well as the 3 or the 2 reasons. Paragraph 2, your first reason. Paragraph 3, your second reason. If you have a third reason, paragraph 4, then you give a closing, and that's it. So that's why I said, knowing these templates, I gave you my templates already. Knowing these templates works. Then second thing, that's so you can do it in 20 minutes. If I want you to finish in 20 minutes, I said it in my last video, especially for your task 2. If you finish within 20 minutes in your second text, you can have time to go and rest, to use the washroom or use the restroom and prepare for speaking, because you're speaking for each task. Remember, that is the toughest exam, speaking. So you want to finish your writing on time and go for it. Especially for your task 2. For your task 2, try to finish in 20 minutes. Then you can use like 2-3 minutes to proofread. Use the other time to check grammatical errors, and just make sure your work is perfect. Then quickly go use the restroom, come back, drink water, and you're ready to speak. Now, time yourself. I didn't time myself, honestly, when I was writing this, but I know I didn't use up 25 minutes. But that is me. I have some slight advantages because I have been writing for years. But now, you don't need to be a master in this craft. Just use the templates, right? So practice, and time yourself while you are practicing. So practice a random question, time yourself. That's the most important part. Time yourself while you are practicing, so that you can know that you won't run out of time. Now, the last one is, once you are done, read everything aloud. Once in a while, we can think we've written something perfect, but until we read what we wrote, that's when we spot our grammatical errors. Lastly, this one is like the most important. Don't choose what you don't understand. See, it's better to get a 10 or an 11. Trying to aim for a 12, you now use words you don't know the meaning of, and those words are incorrect. They're incorrect grammatically. They exist, but they are incorrect for the context you mean. Like imposition, I use a huge imposition, and in that context, imposition does not make sense. But because you're trying to impress and trying to do your best to add complex sentences, please stick to the basics, and you can get a 10, 11. But if you're trying to, overdo it, you now say something out of context, you'll get docked some marks for that. So please just let's stick to what we know. And lastly, punctuations. Guys, punctuations. I have that problem even as a writer. Sometimes I forget to put full stop, comma, but stick with commas and full stop. You don't need to know about semicolon. Commas and full stop, and you are good. Those are my tips for test day. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section. I really hope that was helpful. I wish you all the best. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. My next video will be on CELPIP reading. Please don't forget to watch the other videos in case you've not watched them. I gave a video on 8 tactics on speaking. It's a really lengthy and very detailed video that will help you for speaking. My next video will be on reading, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.